Do I wait for your timer?
What?
No.
Oh, you're good. I trust you.
I have to say, honestly, I feel really humbled because all the stories so far have been really self-revelatory and beautiful, and I just have to say thank you to everybody who's putting this stuff out there. It's like, wow, man. Seriously, that's some beautiful, deep stuff in my story. It's not so, my story goes like so. When I moved to Rochester, one of the first jobs, an early job I had, was also I worked for a woman who ran a book bindery. As a small book bindery, and it was a very small operation, and this was the kind of person, this woman was a person who, if you've ever had a boss like this, that likes to bring a lot of their personal stuff to work, and by a lot of their personal stuff to work, I mean all of her personal shit was at work all the time. And she had a partner, this other woman, and they were having some issues when I first got there. So there was a lot of time that we spent, where I spent, being like, yeah, no, I totally understand, and that's okay, and it's okay if you share, and that you're wigging out, it's okay. I was also at the time living with my partner Jeff, and Jeff would also sometimes visit and get drawn into this whole thing, and he would be like, yeah, it's really okay, it's great. And she would kind of be wiggy and we'd be good. So one day we're at the apartment, which our apartment was maybe almost visual distance from the building that the bindery was in. So one day we're upstairs and we're in the apartment, whatever, and we hear this, and we're like, it's like 7 o'clock at night, who's coming over? I'm like, I'll go downstairs, and I go down, and there's Susan. Her name's Susan. She's standing at the front door. I'm like, hi, why are you at my house? She goes, I have a surprise, can I come in? Sure. So we're later in, she comes upstairs, and Jeff has no idea that I've got her in tow, so he's like, what's going on? I don't know. So she comes in. This was when Elton John was coming to town. This was like his first, this is several iterations ago, right? It was the last concert he did before he had a pacemaker put in. The entire concert apparently had sold out like in 30 seconds. She shows up and she's like, guys, look, I wanted you guys to know that I've been going through so much shit lately, and you guys have been so supportive and so great, and I wanted to do something special, so I have a surprise for you guys. I'm like, okay, well, she goes, I got us all tickets to see Elton John. And we were both like, oh my God, that's awesome, thank you, that's wow, great, wow. So she's all excited and she leaves. As soon as she leaves, she goes out the door, she leaves, Jeff turns to me and goes, do you even like Elton John? I was like, I really do not care much for Elton John. Like, well, crap. So now we're going to go see Elton John because it's a really nice thing for her to do. The other thing she told us is that she got 6 tickets. She got 3 tickets for Jeff and me and her to sit together, and 3 other tickets in case any of her friends wanted to see the show and she could have extra tickets. Isn't this great? So the concert's like in 2 weeks from the time we got the ticket. So in these 2 weeks, she meets another woman, starts dating her, and then suddenly the story goes from we're all going to sit together to, well, hey, look, I'm going to have the seats with me and the girl I'm dating and my best friend, and you guys are going to sit together with my best friend's husband. Okay, and so the tickets she's got for us are going to be like for herself and her girlfriend, you can see Elton John. The tickets we had were literally the last row in the top. All mixed up. So we're thinking, oh fuck, okay, fine. That's great, because that way we can get and see the show, get out, leave, because we don't want to go to the show anyway, we truly don't. Fine. The nut of this whole story is we go to the Blue Cross Arena, Jeff and I show up, we're now going to be sitting in nosebleed seats next to someone we do not know, have never met, will not recognize. And to give you a visual of Jeff, Jeff was one of these guys where when people walked in the room, everybody would go, oh my God, he's like this tall, looked like Matt LeBlanc, big smile, super smile, all shit. We go to the Blue Cross Arena, we're walking around, we're going to go find our seats, and as we're walking, there's this tall dude who's standing off to the side. He's got all these badges on, he's looking, and he sees us, and I look over and I do the whole hi, and then he says, he like does, swear to God, he does one of these, and he goes, and he walks up to us, and we're standing like, oh, fuck. Gentlemen, can I see you for a second? We're walking like, yeah, sure. Like, so you guys are here to see Elton John, huh? I'm like, yeah, we're here to see Elton John. And he says, so you guys big fans of Elton John? And we don't know why this man's talking to us. So I was like, absolutely, yeah, no, big, yeah. You guys on your own to see Elton John? And like, well, more or less, yeah, it's just us. I mean, we're going to be so, okay. Hold on just a second, gentlemen. Beckons is close, and we get close, and he goes, how would you guys like front row seats to see Elton John tonight? So Jeff looks at me, I look over at Jeff, I'm like, and there are people all around, so we're like, this guy can't be scamming us, right? He goes, you guys pretty energetic, you guys know how to get people excited, jump up and move around. I turn to the guy, and I swear to God, I was like, we're 2 of the perkiest people. He goes, come here, gentlemen. And now while he's doing this thing, I turn to Jeff and goes, if he tries to take our tickets, we're going to go report him like immediately. Also, also thinking, well, shit, this is great because if he takes our tickets and goes and they're fake tickets, we can get out of here like scot-free, right? Guy goes up and goes, okay, gentlemen, here you go, and hands us 2 tickets. And I shit you not, where I stand right now, Elton John was right there. We were literally the first row, center seats in the middle of Blue Cross Arena for Elton fucking John. But of course, we go up and we go to our seats and we sit down, and of course we're thinking like, well, of course. Because we don't want to be at this concert. And I will say it was an amazing, fantastic, wonderful concert, and I knew that the woman who gave us the tickets would not believe, because she would know her best friend's husband would be up there going, well, the guys never even showed up. So I'm like, well, we gotta prove it. So at one point, after like the second number, everybody in the front row is always standing up. The person a few down walks up to the stage with a Sharpie and the ticket, and hands it to Elton John. And Elton John takes it and he signs it and he hands it back. Well, immediately, everybody else in the row runs up with their tickets. Our roadie comes running out, hands him a pen, and everybody's applauding and screaming, and I'm sitting there next to Jeff and I'm like, well. Walked up, and I was the last person that Elton John walked up to in that line. He handed it back to me, walked off, had that ticket. Final bit of the story, walked in the next day at work, and I'm thinking, well, this is a woman, again, who carries a lot of her personal shit with her. I figured she's going to be so pissed off, but I'm at least going to tell her story, right? Tell her what happened. I get into the thing, she's not there. I'm waiting for her to show up, she's still not there, still not there. Phone rings, her girlfriend's calling in. I answer, she's like, hey, where were you guys last night? Tell her the story. She's thrilled. She's like, that's the coolest thing. I knew that you guys probably like did something cool like that. She shows up, Susan shows up, walks in, sour faces, walks in. Hi. Like, you're never going to believe this. And I start to tell the story, she's just looking stone-faced. I pull out a small IKEA picture frame that I had with the ticket in it with his signature to hang in the studio. She looks at it, it's like, that's great. Dead serious. To this day, it's just like, that's all I got from you? That's all I got from you? So, there you go. I was that close.